It says we're live.
Yep.
So, thank you from for joining us today. We are live on 10 minutes with Max, 10-minute wisdom, and I will introduce my guest, Mrs. Carter, and we're going to let her tell us what she's going to be teaching us today. Go ahead, lady. You have the stage.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all are enjoying the day. Today, we are talking about prioritizing yourself and the benefits of prioritizing yourself. That is so super important. We only get 24 hours a day. No matter how many times you say you need more time, you'll never get it. You'll never, ever get
Well,
it.
that's something we all say. We're all in this place of wanting more time, wanting more time. And the thing we do, we don't prioritize ourselves at all. What is one of the main reasons that people don't prioritize themselves?
I would say we take ourselves for granted. We don't put ourselves on our own calendar.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
When you think about all of my children are adults and I get to do what I want to do. and I started kind of thinking about that as my young people were teenagers. They're going to have their life of their own. They're going to start driving. They don't need me to chauffeur them around. What am I going to do? And I think we get lost in the sauce as parents, being the chef, the doctor, chauffeur. And then we go to work, and then we're working to our fullest at work. And then some of us don't even get enough sleep.
And that sucks. That's terrible. I just think there's so many, you know, there's so many things put on parents, especially the moms, especially the moms.
I agree. That what I was thinking was it would be another topic, but there is a benefit in partnership when there are two parents. Um, when it's one mom, you have 24 hours. When it's dad, he has the same 24 hours, but you get to navigate your calendars and figure out what mom can do, what dad can do to kind of use those same 24 hours wisely. My sister just started working away from home. Her husband has moved back from his job overseas. So now she is working away from home, and dad is now responsible for taking little nephew to school. So if she didn't have my brother-in-law to take little nephew to school, then she would be stressed out trying to get to work on time and drop the baby off at school. So there is a benefit in partnership.
So let me play the devil's advocate here because we're talking about prioritizing time for yourself, and we're talking about, as parents taking that time, whatever it is, to work together and still prioritize ourselves. And lately in the media, there's so much going on with traditional wives and women cooking and cleaning and taking things back the old way. Do in this day and age, you're married, your sister and your brother-in-law are married. I'm not married, so I'm not really
Me
vested.
either. Me either.
Okay, so your sister is. So I'm not really vested, but from that standpoint, do you think that we can take things back to where the mom stayed home and took care of the kids and the husband, or do you think?
That's a loaded gun. I
I
was just
know, and I'm just throwing you under the bus.
so look. I just had this conversation with my mentor last night, and that wasn't why I called him. I called him for something else. So we had that conversation where women are getting this real soft life that they keep screaming about on social media. But what soft life is prioritizing yourself, and it is possible, but it is intentional. It's very intentional. The old school way, the man was really responsible for taking care of the household. they would really have to have the money to take care of the household, because housing is not, as a single person, it's not inexpensive. Then you have your car, then you have your insurance, then you have entertainment. There is so much that goes into it. Um, and depending, I'm going to play some devil's advocate at this point as well. Men don't feel the need to be responsible for women anymore.
No, you're absolutely right. But why do you believe that that's the case? I mean, as women, I have a son, and I'm a single mother, and regardless of whatever's happening in the world, I didn't choose to be a single parent. My son was a gift from my sister. But there are women who choose to be a single parent, and there are women who don't choose to be a single parent. And we're doing the nurturing and everything. Where is it? Is it there where this not where being responsible for women starts? Does it start there? Does it start after they get out of the house or get
I,
on their own? What is the
I'm
tipping
I'm gonna say,
and
as a
choose?
mother of two sons and a daughter, um, I taught my sons and daughters the same thing. You have to be. I taught my son that he should be responsible for his mate, whomever his mate is.
Now, when you
Um,
say responsible, what does that mean?
for me, responsible for your mate is, you have a mate, you have children. You can't have an expectation that your mate uses all of her 24 hours to take care of the children that you all
That's
have
right.
in the household. And I believe, because my oldest son, who has the children, he saw me in the household doing everything. It was very easy for him to say, well, she's at work, I'm at home right now, I got the kids here, but I'm going to clean up. You see that? But the other part of that, I also taught my sons and my daughter to help around the house. I don't think a lot of that happens anymore.
That is correct. I my father's in heaven, and I have two brothers, and my brother Luther always says, he has to pay his mortgage, his bills, and everything himself, and as it should be. He doesn't believe that he should ask anyone to pay bills when they move in, because that's something he needs to do himself. He believes that if you're married or you live with someone that is your significant other, that they're not creating extra electric and things that are it's just astronomical. He said your bill may go up $25 or $30. He said asking a woman to pay 50-50 is scandalous. He said if you can't take care of yourself on your own as a man, just say that.
That's fair.
And he said, but as a man, he has to pay all those bills himself, regardless. He said, now, if his wife wanted designer clothes and stuff like that, she would need to use her salary to get it, which is understandable. He said, but he couldn't see himself asking his wife to pay bills that he would have to pay regardless because he would have to take care of himself. And
Hmm.
I don't think that people understand that. I believe that in this society, we're asking for things that shouldn't be. Somewhere between Harper's Bazaar and Vogue, teaching women to do things differently, we have made a bad turn. So that there's no time for us to prioritize ourselves and take care of ourselves because we're trying to prove to someone else that we're good for them or we need to do this. Now, as far as single moms, yes, you're working and you're cooking, cleaning, you're doing those things. But I don't think that I've ever done that by myself. Now, I've never lived with anyone, so I'll say this. I'll say that, my son, I don't have to tell him to empty the trash. I don't have to say load the dishwasher, vacuum the floor, clean your bed. I don't have to say any of that stuff because if you teach children while they're young
Hmm.
that we are chip in. It's different. Do I get to prioritize myself? I do. I still want more hours in the day, but I get to be.
Well, I think that culturally that we are taught to work hard. We are taught that we don't, once we have children, that we don't get the opportunity to have a break from those children that we have had. I think that culturally, because of that, it puts us in a situation where we constantly have to prove that we are a good employer, a good employee, a good mother, a good anything, and not consider that with all of those hats removed, we are still a woman. We are still a human being. And because of that, if you want the best of me, you need to give me a break. I need to take a break.
Yes. So give me some tips, while we're together, give me some tips that we can put into motion, as women or as men to prioritize ourselves, to put ourselves first.
My favorite thing, my favorite thing is when I don't have anybody but a little dog to come home to. And my son, he just does his thing. So my favorite thing is to take some time. When you have other people in the house, I used to say take 5 minutes, but 5 minutes is enough. But it's a way to start if you are not accustomed to taking time by yourself. Go to the bathroom, put a little sign up, tell them you pooping or something. I don't know. Maybe nobody will come in.
you let me go online and say, if you are pooping, no one's gonna come in. No, no one's gonna come in, Miss Carter. No one. Mm-mm.
So that's my favorite one for mommy who doesn't have any time to herself. Start off with 5 minutes and then take another 5 minutes, and then you'll see your time is beginning to accumulate. But if you have older children, or a husband or a wife, whatever, you can tell them, hey, I need this time for myself. Can I come in the house before you bombard me? Have a scheduled time. This is my time when I come in the house, this time to this time. Let me wiggle my toes. Let me inhale and exhale. Let me have some quiet time first because the world has beat me up enough already. Let me have some peace in my home before we can get to that. Another thing is pencil yourself. Uh-oh.
Absolutely. So I don't know. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. Are you still there?
I am.
So we're having a little bit of technical. Good. So with that being said, I think that's absolutely good. I want to ask you, you're still a life coach or transformational coach. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So where can people find you? Where can people find you? And what is your niche? What do you help people with?
So what I help women with is learning to love their authentic self so they can live their most authentic life because too many times we make choices that other people want us to make. Other
Yeah.
people expect us to make. And we're not our happiest. We're not our best. Um, on social media, I am one authentic woman all over the place. The number one authentic woman on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter. I am one authentic woman everywhere.
And guys, what I will do is I will make sure that I get her bio in her schedule link. So whenever you're listening to this 10 minutes of wisdom with Max and you feel like I'm not prioritizing myself as I should be, I would love for you just to click the link and schedule a meeting or just a session with Miss Carter. And I like seeing Miss Carter because it reminds me of Beyonce. And I want you to schedule a session with her and speak to her about putting yourself first because when you put yourself first, you actually live longer.
I would. I actually have been when I've been speaking in spaces about time management, because basically this is time management.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn how to prioritize yourself, the people connected directly and indirectly to you, they catch your overflow. They catch your
Yes,
overflow because that prioritizing yourself offers you time to replenish. And the more you replenish, the more everybody else get the benefit.
I love that. In my culture, in my Native American culture, we learn that I eat first. So I prepare the food, take a bite, and then I start passing it around.
Hmm.
And in this modern day culture, the word that they used to say is, my cup runneth over. So you give people what's in your saucer, never out of your cup, what's in your saucer, because you don't want to deplete yourself. So when you take care,
Hmm.
you can take care of millions, millions of people
Hmm.
if you're at 100%. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you
And,
so much for having me.
and thank you for your wisdom. Has your book come out yet?
It did.
So
It
we're going
came.
to have to invite you back to talk about your book, but give us the name of the book while you're here.
So the name of the book is Embrace Your Crown, a time management handbook. And this is a sixth book. And anybody that's reading me for the first time, congratulations. And anybody that's been reading me for a minute, it's the me that I didn't even know that I was.
Very nice, very nice. Well, before we end, I always like to end with a word of gratitude from our guests. So, what is your word of gratitude for today?
Hmm. I hadn't even really thought about that.
Da 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 da.
Yeah, because I mean, I like the smallest things make me grateful.
I like that.
Um, the wind through the when you see the wind through the trees, we don't even pay any attention to that normally. So that is life.
I love that. The smallest things make me grateful. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to end to say, for me, my word of gratitude is faith. I have faith. I'm grateful for the ability to have faith that I'm not challenged by anything. I have faith in what I do and other people and other coaches. And I believe that coaches are brought to this planet to make a difference and
Mm-hmm.
to help you hack your life so you're not going through the same thing. I know
Mm-hmm.
that right now we are drawn to negative output, negative information. So I just want to say, as you're out there defining who you are or trying to understand who you are, prioritize yourself,
Mm-hmm.
time for yourself, whether it be a bathroom break, reading a book, or finding some type of way of starting with 5 minutes and 10 minutes. And it also prioritizing yourself helps you to love you and learn to be alone with yourself. So thank you for joining us, lady. I love chatting with you and seeing you on Facebook, and we're overdue for a chat. So I
Yes.
will ask you back. So for my audience all over the world, this is a Max Wisdom break, and I want to say to you guys, make it a great day. Have a great day, everyone. Ta-da.